Stupid. Stupid. His is giving him the 0.6.
0.6. That's what YouTube is trying to get.
When they come online, let me know.
They was getting paid. How many of them was it?
Stupid. Good.
He got booked by that company. If he just gets catching on to this, he dang.
Peace, family. Yeah, so whoever want to go live on your thing, make it happen. All right. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. This is your brother Red Pill reporting live and direct, live from the ATL. This is the KTL in the ATL. All right, brother Red Pill representing the shifters, representing Know the Ledge. All right, this is episode 44 of Melanin Mondays. You already know. All right, we are in for a treat tonight. You know we had to do it big for the 44th episode. I can never do anything with a 44 in it without bringing my brother Blue Pillar in the building. But we even made it more special for y'all. We brought in another numerologist, huh? A numeric magician. Our brother 19 Keys is also in the building. All right, one of my fellow shifters. So we had a magnanimous weekend. We had a wonderful weekend out here at ATL. The pop-up shop was successful beyond means. There was lines down the block. People came far in between to support us, to give love, you know what I mean, to give words of advice, all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beautiful event. You will see footage of that on YouTube. No, not on YouTube. You'll see it on the gram at Shifters _. You'll see it on Black on Demand TV, and you'll also see it on KTLmedia.com, which is our new page that we're promoting and I push. This is our new platform where we'll talk about that a little bit later into the show. I want to jump right into it. I don't want to waste any time. There's a lot of things that we're going to touch on today, but of course the hot button topic of the day that everybody is talking about and a lot of people are focusing on is the Tekashi 6ix9ine debacle. But I gotta say peace. This is Young Keys right here. Let Young Keys say peace. Bashir's in the building. How old are you, Bashir?
23.
Bashir's 23. Bashir belongs to the demographics and the generation of avid music listeners and people who are influenced by these MCs that are out here, namely the Tekashi 6ix9ines, the Treyways of the world, the Trippie Reds of the world, all of these things. I'm sure the young guy got his head screwed on tight, and he's not definitely being impressed upon by some of these stupid and foolish acts and things of that nature, but he represents a demographics in a generation, because even though he may not be influenced by Tekashi 6ix9ine, by the mumble rappers, by the gangbangers, and all of these other things that we see that are being pushed and promoted and pointed in the direction of the minds of our youth, he's gonna be there to help clean the shit up eventually. So his work is still important. It's still warranted and whatnot. So we're gonna have this conversation. I want to bring on both of the guests for tonight so we could chop up some game and get right into it. Brother 19 Keys, brother Blue Pillar, please pull up and come forward. All right. Yes, sir.
I should probably sit on these.
Yeah. If you want to bring the that. I don't want us all to be squeezed in on the couch.
Right there.
Yeah, let Keys get over there by share. All right. No doubt. Shout out to all of the moderators that are in the building. Salute to y'all. Love and light. I appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings and blessings. All right.
Yeah.
So we here with Keys. And we here with the Pillar. All right. Blue Pillar in a MF building.
Peace,
all right.
light, y'all. Blue pill 44.
So we're gonna unpack this thing. We're gonna talk about this thing on levels that may not be talked about.
Let me start this off with something. I'm just reading my notes.
No doubt.
Game theory, right? So I'm gonna read you this with game theory. I'm gonna pass this one off to Blue in a second. They say game theory is a study of mathematical models of strategic interaction between rational decision makers. It has applications in all fields: social science, logic, computer science. Originally, it's addressed as zero-sum game, in which one person gains result in losses for other participants. So meaning one person gains, and that result in the losses for other participants. Today, game theory applies to a wide range of behavioral relations and now under the umbrella term for the science of logical decision-making in humans, animals, and computers. Now, I'm about to bring this down to the 44 because it was a paper by the name of a guy named Oscar Morgenstern. And he had a paper that followed up in 1944, was a theory of games and economic behavior. And this basically, I'm thinking about this idea as it applies to, the numbers that these young boys is using and how they gain end up resulting in a loss, and that is not sustainable. And that a lot of them learn how to use applied mathematics, meaning that the stuff that they learn from the game, as far as them using the 6-9, them using these numbers, them using things that's been used before as success, but now they're using technology and they're applying it into, space-time. It's not just on paper. They're actually working these models in real life. And
So
they're saying,
you got 369, Treyway 6-9.
Yeah. And so what they doing is they throwing numbers, and numbers, have energy. It causes feeling, it rises up. And they're able to use that as, for one, it becomes an entity. And everything is poured into this entity. Treyway, 6-9. Then they explain it. Okay, you look at it this way, you look at it this way. So now they adding in a little theme of consciousness in there, a little deeper. Now they mixing with all entities. Then, hold on, let me throw in the rainbow. Let me throw in the sexual energy. Let me throw in the homo energy. Now let me throw in the bloods. You know what I'm saying? The Crips. Let me throw in the chaos energy. Let me throw in all of that. This is going to result in us gaining, because you can convert all of that, mathematical application, which is real time, because mathematics is its own entity. Everything in the universe runs by mathematical law. So what they do is they gain real money. They get their numbers up. Now they get 6x6 albums. Now I got 7x7 albums. I got 8x8 albums. You get these hits, you get these numbers, and you bragging about your numbers. That's all you bragging about, because that's all it's about. Right. But it's not sustainable, because it's more so chaos. They are participating in creating, entropy. And in entropy, when you're dealing with sociopaths, they're great at being masters of creating chaos and winning in it, because there's a non-emotional attachment. And a lot of people do this, a lot of CEOs do this in their workplace. They create this chaos because they're able to thrive in it, and they're able to win by keeping you off hinge.
Case in point, just to add on, that there was a report and a study done of a majority of CEOs, right? And it showed, yes, and the study showed that the personality of a sociopath would align perfectly with the majority of the CEOs that were studied. So what the brother is saying makes total sense, that you have to have a certain kind of mind state. You have to be in a certain kind of mind state in order to be a CEO, to thrive inside of a chaotic situation, utilizing what is known as chaos magic. Or please.
So when they do that, though, but it's not sustainable for someone who's not really a sociopath, though.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not really. So he used that science. He used that, but he didn't have any real foundation. See, it worked for white people because that's really their nature.
That's right.
So when they do it, they can thrive in it. See, he used it and he started to thrive. He started to gain, but it wasn't sustainable. He didn't know that was going to have to be a lifelong thing, that he's going to have to keep up like 50 Cent.
That's right.
You understand me? 50 Cent still works off controversy. He didn't convert it and be like, no, I'm no longer doing that. He know that his entire building is still on this controversy. I got to keep these things going to keep my energy sustained. I got to keep the game gods happy by keeping that energy. Who I got controversy with? Matter of fact, he aligned with 6ix9ine, 50 Cent, you know, the numbers. These are number guys. You understand me? The CEOs are number guys. They just want to know the numbers. What qualitative action I'm going to do that's going to be quantitative in the long run. You know what I mean?
What is he always talking about in terms of his validity? He's saying, look, fuck the street cred. I got numbers.
Right.
I'm 11 for 11 on Billboard. You know what I'm saying? I'm the most streamed artist. He tried to compare, you know, they brought up Drake for his streaming numbers. And he's like, look, in terms of longevity wise, I haven't been around as long as a Drake, but give me that long and I'll have. So his whole concentration is just on numbers. What did Tesla say? If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. So while you might think that we talking metaphysical mumbo jumbo, right? Look how they unified that 3, 6, 9, Treyway, 6, 9. You know what I'm saying? Unlock the universe. He was seemingly undefeated until what? He made comparisons and equalized the feds to God. He did it. He did himself in with that admittance that when he compared, and for people who may not be familiar with what we're talking about, it's the Breakfast Club interview that just came out on Friday with Tekashi. For those who are a part of the culture, who are connoisseurs of the culture, you know, we study the culture. So in that interview, he compared, he said he only feared 2 things. Same thing that Big said. He feared God and he feared the feds. That admittance in it of itself showed that he was not as undefeatable as he was. It collapses invincibility. It collapses. It showed his chinks.
Right.
So now they know where to hit you where it hurts. And then you get a few days later, they bring him down. Now we all know what the play is. Like brother said, when you watch First 48.
Yeah. You go this what we talked. We had that Troy Ave interview.
Ben X said that. Yeah,
we had that Troy Ave interview. We talked about this.
For anybody who pours into Netflix, because Netflix is a gangster's paradise. You know what I'm talking about? They teach you criminology 101 on Netflix. If you watch all of the Narcos, every fucking they got 8 or 9 series on Pablo Escobar, Locked Up, and then when you watch First 48, it's going to show you. We're going to take, if you show us that you fear us, if you show us that, and I've been touching on this on multiple episodes, I said one of the worst things that could be done to anybody who is living, meaning the opposite of the evils or devil is lived. If anything, the worst thing that you could do to a breathing man who's providing for his family and living his life is by putting him in purgatory. Burying someone in a shallow grave is one of the most traumatic experiences that you can inflict upon a human being on this planet, meaning turning us into a slave, because it will trigger PTSD. I know people that got hit up, meaning got shot. I know people who've been stabbed. I know people who've been jumped. I know people who went rock bottom broke, and they even would tell me I would keep that shit before I go ahead and fight for my life behind bars and face doing life in a penitentiary, withering away while the whole world goes around and you're sitting in solitude or solitary confinement in a goddamn box. That's slow death. So when they throw that at you and they say, well, what about your mama? What about your daughter that's growing up, right? What about all of these things that we know that are important to you? You're not going to tell on these guys? You're not going to give up? These guys were robbing from you anyway,
These guys
Daniel.
tied you up.
These guys tied you up, Daniel. These guys were they were trying to give you of a $3.6 million tour deal. They were just going to give you the 0.6 and take the 3 million. These are not your friends. So we will see if the boy is solid or not. I say that he bends like a spoon in Arizona heat.
It's gonna come back down to game theory. You ain't gonna bend like that on the Matrix, huh? It's gonna come back down to game theory. His game, the feds offer him a deal. Yo, We let you out, but we give you this sentencing. We just need you to put your name on some paperwork. His gain of freedom is going to be his homie's loss. At the same time, you know, this is a model for a lesson in the new behavior of this generation of millennials who are so well informed with information, because we living in this Google age where these children got more information than any other people on the planet Earth that they growing with at any other point in time on the planet Earth. They have accesses to millions of libraries on their phone, millions of books, millions of scholars, millions of gatekeepers. Anytime they want an answer for something, they don't have to go out and experience to figure it out. They can go out there and research one of them formal answers. And so it makes them more informed, but it makes them less guided. So they have the information, but they don't know what to do with it. So when you see a lot of these young boys, they know how to get themselves successful. They know how to gain this attention. They know how to create this chaos and things of that nature, and then convert it because they've watched other people do it. And then they've got game from some of the other gatekeepers like, look, son, do it like this. And they're like, all right, bet, I'm going to run with it. But they didn't teach them the sustainability with it. They don't have any wisdom, so there's no guidance. If the young boys had real guidance, it'll take the information, convert it to real knowledge, attach it to some understanding, and then they will have better decision making so their gains don't end up in losses. But that's the new gang theory.
So chaos, magic, translated to clout chasing, right? What he was talking about game theory and not being able to hold that charge, the same way that you come in is the same way that you go out. So one of the perfect examples, and this is game because we all have youthful followings. So if your OG never talked to you and gave you some game, that's what you're going to get tonight. So XXX Tentacion is a perfect example of the fact that you better be aware of the way that you come into this bitch, that you can't necessarily turn it off once you already are in here. One of the things with these new artists that we're seeing is they already are coming into this industry with issues attached to them off the gate.
Facts.
They're coming in cased up already. Usually
demons.
They're already coming in with demons on them. They're already coming in with the fact that they violated the divine feminine principle. Tekashi 6ix9ine violated the divine feminine principle prior to even getting signed. So the Fed said that they've been watching them since 2013. Right? So this ain't no new. So if everybody's like, oh, he was talking crazy. No, this is Bobby Shmurda 2.0. Me and this man's online with Brother Rich on Black Magic 363. Our first video that we did with that man right after our birthday in 2000 and what was that? We're at 18. I think it was 16. One of the first videos that we did with Brother Rich to start our whole run with Rich was about Bobby Shmurda and the fact that the quote unquote the fact that the hip hop police are the modern day COINTELPROs because they are monitoring and they are watching and they're manipulating the influencers that are influencing the world, not just kids in New York, not just your little ones, not little Ray El Bay, no. Kids around the world, little children in Bangladesh, in Mogadishu.
I mean, remember Tekashi said he popped in Russia, Slovenia.
Yeah,
this dude is doing international tours.
That's
right. He
right.
can't touch stages in the States. He's international, influencing Europeans.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? So, and funny enough, right? Didn't academics commented on that first very post that we did on Shmurda, like, oh, I love this information. You guys are going in, you know. But again, you know, the keys to the whole kingdom are put in the hands of the youth. Somebody like academics who provided platforms to the goofies, not understanding the type of life that you was breathing into these monsters.
Look at all the people he's attached to and look what happened to him, because he leeches to the energy, because he's conscious of that energy. But that he knows that he's just going to grab it, go back to his safe place though.
Literally, his hole, his basement in his mama house.
Yes.
You feel me? He's gonna take the cheese and crawl back into his hole. You know what I'm saying? And then now look, you know, the main people that he's been attached to is no longer here.
But
to
see,
speak for themselves.
He represents the classic, you know, crabs that's going to be around these new millennials as well as they're gaining success. They're going to have always an academic over there. They're going to have a 50 Cent over there. They're going to have these different people. And when that energy burns out, none of them going to be around. They're going to continue to go along. Because if they gave them the real game, then they'll be able to sustain it. But academics ain't giving nobody no game. I ain't never seen academics.
He don't know. He don't got the game.
He don't got the game.
He has an unconscious game of what gives him his momentum of success. But he probably don't have that real self-knowledge to explore and reverse engineer, pack it up, and then give it to somebody else.
Like, this is what I learned.
Right.
These are the keys.
Right.
Now, somebody that does have the game, there was an episode called Coca Vision. It's going viral right now with Fat Joe, who is also of Latino descent, right? Who was also very hot with the hip hop police because he was affiliated real heavy when he came out. He was giving Tekashi 6ix9ine OG advice. Now, I've said this on many times before when we recently on Melanin Mondays that there's some kind of disconnect going on between these new millennials or these the new generation, the ones who are mumble rapping and those who are listening and pushing the mumble rappers, where you are rebelling against the OG principle. You're rebelling against your big homies, not based off of the fact that, you know, you're rebelling against the big homies because your big homies or your OGs abused you. Your big homies or your OGs had your ass as a mule. They were basically using you, running with the tool or the hammer. You got cased up when you were. No. One of the things that the OGs are here to do for the youth, we're here to let you know about the mistakes that we made when we were 18 and when we were 19, generating all kind of money. But we realized that a lot of people go through the same thing. We're always going to go through these cycles. Don't feel if you're 19 years old, it's something that you can't tell somebody who's 40, because here it is, you're going to read about the 90s. Here it is, you got to go to Spotify and go listen to the music of the 90s. You got to figure out what happened. We were actually there. So there's a level of experience that you don't have because you were on a baby bottle in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So experience is the best teacher.
And now you live in a situation that's an entirely new dynamic. We always lived in a fishbowl, but you live on a fishbowl under a microscope because of social media. So when we grew up in the era when people were, you know what I'm saying, they was criminalizing their raps and talking about street shit that they did on wax, you know, hip hop affords you the opportunity to embellish. It's still a level of fantasy, but social media comes along and now you got to live this shit out and it's digital. I was telling this shit to somebody the other day about even the boosting game and the swipe game. You know, back in the days when you were going to stores before the shit went digital and they was recording your shit on VCR, as long as you knew that you was able to get, you know what I'm saying, under the surveillance for X amount of weeks or months, they got to tape over those VCR tapes. You know what I'm saying? The shit wasn't cataloged unless they was investigating you. Now this shit is digital. It's in the cloud. It ain't going nowhere. So it's the same thing with social media. You know what I'm saying? If you say it, it ain't going nowhere. It's an imprint. There's a digital footprint that will for always follow you forever and a day. So people want to sit up there and they want to blame the academics of the world and the DJ Vlads. My whole thing is this. Now you live in the attention economy. Like he was saying for game theory, if these people are willing on some AR ab shit to go on a platform and give a motherfucker the entire insight into your criminal operation.
Rollo. Mm-hmm. ARAB. Tekashi and Treyway. You're
Bobby
giving
Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda. You're inviting these people. You're inviting.
So for the sake of attention.
For the sake of attention.
Or for the sake of validation of your quote unquote realness, what amounts to what? You want to do your numbers. Mm-hmm. You want to scan, right? You want to sound scan. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z got her. Oh, this nigga was selling coke and he ended up in the motherfucking city hall in the White House. So now that becomes the model, right? That becomes the level of the blueprint for the game theory that you think that you can come and do the same thing, but now you're doing it under digital surveillance. You know what I'm saying? Post 9/11, closed caption everywhere. You dig what I'm saying? And these cases are getting bumped up from state to federal. You know, where there's probably at some point there's going to be more rappers behind bars than in the goddamn streets.
And now you can look at every move like this, right? Because we know that in science, every atom has, you know, a mathematical measurement, right? Like in that atomic world, what we know it as is we can't view it. It's all mathematics. It's an all mathematical world, right? So if a computer wants to build something, you know, from an atomic level, a quantum machine or something, then it has to have the mathematics right. So when you look at a person's actions, you know, that's what transform mathematics is converting mathematics into signals.
Facts.
You understand me? So it converts it into signals. Is the reason that we able to have a signal streaming to you is because it's been transformed into a signal, a wave process. And in your life, every move that you make has a measurement. It has a mathematical formula to it. It has an attachment of something going on. And so when you look at the totality of particular you look at the totality of moves that a person making, the energy that a person make, they're building something, right? And then when we see results like this, you see the totality of what they built through that movement that they've created. And so it's dangerous for any young mind to be captivated by any of those moves being made because they're not thinking long term. So the totality of what they create, you know, when they transform all of their moves into that signal, into that wave, they sending out all kind of waves and all kind of signals. And the reality that they create is one like what 6ix9ine transformed all his moves into. Now we are speaking about the results of those actions as it was being played out in real time. Same thing with the young boy XXXTentacion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we watched the results of his actions. He was reaching out to a lot of the rappers trying to get his karma bank back filled up, but it was too late. You know, it was way too many things out there. So being alone by himself, what ended up? He ain't getting killed.
Literally.
We can trace it back really to the most classic case of all time. But everybody loved Tupac. But Tupac put a lot of energy out there. Tupac did a lot of things. And Tupac has been a god of hip hop for a long time. And people deify him. And then they take some of those actions that he's done and they apply that Illuminati type activity to what they're doing. But Tupac had a lot of growth. He's only 25. He didn't get to a point of origin where he even started to, 25 is right there at the precipice when your brain switched from focusing on patterns to focusing on wisdom.
That's right.
And so he never got to his actual wise state. He just knew patterns of thought that he can particularly speak about based on the things that he was doing. But his gains ended up in his loss.
That's why it's very imperative, and this ain't some old head type shit. It is very imperative to get wiser and to appreciate aging and appreciate wisdom. I'm not listening to no 18-year-old tell me how to conduct life if I'm 40. I can't do it. What did they do with the music industry when they brought in Chief Keef in 2012? I got the article. They officially switched over the game to the teenagers. They said that our demographics is 17 to 25-year-olds. We're going to hand the keys to the kingdom to teenagers. A young man that was on house arrest at his grandmama's house for shooting at police in Chicago. They was sipping on lean. They gave him the reins of, they gave him the keys to the goddamn foreign. They gave him the keys to the goddamn bus. And that nigga went driving blindfolded. So now you got the murder rate all over, not just in Chirac. The shit escalated. It exploded. The drill music made the murder rate explode. Every single artist that came out of New York City as a result, Cardi B, Blood, motherfucking Bobby Shmurda and them, GS9, Crip, Young M.A., Blood, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Blood. So you can't tell me that Liar Cohen in the music industry and all of these small hats and these executives who are here putting you through a pipeline. It's not just a prison pipeline anymore. They're getting you for your organs. They're getting you for slavery. They're putting your ass in slavery. They're getting you for your energy. They're getting you for your blind consumerism. It's all kind of stuff that they're doing to our people by manipulating them. Because if they hand the keys to some goddamn teenagers who are dope fiends most of the time, of course they're going to pull the strings and control them. So here it is. You got babies. You got little children who are already traumatized. They're coming in traumatized. A young man said, Tekashi 6ix9ine said, when they killed my father, when my father was murdered, meaning that his father was part of our generation. So the trauma that our generation is experiencing is spilling over onto these babies who you can see it on their face, and they're rebelling against the trauma and the pain that this backwards lost generation has inflicted upon them. And what are they doing? I don't want to be affiliated with them no more, so I'm going to rebel. I'm going to tap my whole face up, rainbow my hair, tell them to suck my phallus every chance that I get, because what do? The hate you gave these little infants is fucking everybody. So it's not like we could blame certain people. We're not pointing fingers. We're diagnosing the goddamn sickness that we're seeing. And these labels are responsible. These labels are bankrolling, and they are putting billions of dollars into black inferiority, not black excellence, not black they're not funding that. They're not funding that. They're not invested in that. They're invested in black inferiority complexes of every fucking form that you can see, and they're dressing that shit up, putting Elliot's ice on it. They putting an Israeli ice all over it, glittering it out. So niggas is well-dressed cadavers, but they still Walking Dead. Real talk, they still the Walking Dead. And if your babies are following the Walking Dead, if your babies are following the zombies, if they say hip-hop is dead, well, goddamn it, this is the zombie era. These niggas have resurrected. These are zombies that are talking to us. So if your babies and all of them, these babies are becoming zombie. They're becoming zombified. And there's a manual on how to do it. Sip lean. Right?
Pop pills.
Deface yourself. It's a form of self-mutilation.
And the thing about their rebellion is it's not a masculine rebellion.
It's not,
because their minds,
they moms,
they got them 9 minds, and it don't allow them to think as a masculine entity. So they have a feminine rebellion, and their feminine rebellion comes from the emotional aspect of their thinking. And so you don't see the rebellion, and it's not just happening in the black community. White people got their children rebellion against the white patriarchal intellect. Yes, it is.
That's the school shooters.
You understand me? And so when you look at this, it's a generational clash. It's a generations of clashing and fighting against each other. And so it's happening within our generation and their generation, but their generation now went from when they used to be Oklahoma bombers and Oklahoma shooters. Now their new rebellion is becoming hip hop rappers. You understand me? It's not the same masculine revolution. And when our revolution used to be armed up, Huey P. Newton, FOI, rooftop, whatever we had going on. Now, what is it? It's becoming the rappers. It's doing some drugs. It's making this noise. I'm talking about my feelings, and I hate society, and I hate everything that's been built based off the intellect of the past generation, and I don't want this paradigm anymore. So we're looking at the generation of rebellion, but they don't have it in balance. There's no guidance to their rebellion because they're not attached to the older generation. So there's no wisdom, there's no guidance.
A lot of them are rebelling against the father principle.
Right.
A lot of them are rebelling against the OG principle. Yo, you elders failed us. The old niggas failed us. That's the famous line that you hear, especially coming out of the conscious community.
Academics, Joe Buttons.
Joe Buttons is the old head. He was the old bitter head. Academics was a young, dumb, full of cum nigga living in his mama's basement,
Drinking Henny. Right.
Drinking Henny, who's not built like that. He doesn't have the experience to have the influence over millions of impressionable minds the way that he does. Life gives you experience. Trials and tribulations. Laying up in the feds might give you an experience. Failing forward, being able to say, get on the Breakfast Club and admit that you're wrong, to admit that you were wrong, to admit that your ass fell on your face. That's experience. People, if you're 18 years old and 17 years, I don't care if you was on a block from 12 years old on some wire shit. You don't have the level of experience that's needed in these days and times. Maturity. Knowledge is power. We're not saying that these people are not smart. We're not saying that they don't have knowledge. We don't say that they don't got wisdom. You got little young dudes with old head wisdom, but there's still a level of maturity. There's still a level of experience. There's still a level of insight that you must allow the council of elders to provide you, or you are going to crash. I promise you. They utilize this young boy, remember, because he got old heads around him manipulating him. So we're not saying to the youth out there, you have to listen to anybody who's older than you. We're not saying that. We're not saying that, because a lot of y'all got led astray by old motherfuckers who are just using you and traumatizing and abusing. Because remember, there's forms of
a lot of abuse and trauma came from the hand of elders. Just because a motherfucker older don't mean that he right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to navigate through that shit as well.
You have to utilize the art of discernment. We're not saying that because a motherfucker got old gray hair or because they've been in the game. Yo, I've been out here. No, they was goofy when they was out here. How about that? Like that doesn't qualify them to be teachers. That doesn't qualify them to be even titled OGs. That you got olders and you got elders. Just because you get older don't mean that you're an elder. So you have to be a part of a village. You have to be a part of a network. You have to be a part of a conglomerate or a collective of people where they will say to you, this person is verified and certified. Listen to their knowledge. Listen to their wisdom. They're not going to steer you wrong. Whatever happened to the rites of passage for the Bobby Shmurdas of the world? Because they got OGs, but as we know, some of those OGs are not necessarily pointing them in the right direction, or because of the way that this game is put together, the rap game in particular, because the some of the old rappers are not that welcoming. They're not that much as they're not really going in and telling these young dudes, yo, chill, don't do that shit, bro. Like, relax. But when these young niggas get that bag,
let me do something with you. Let me use what you built.
But, I mean, but they grew up in a generation where the quote unquote elders or the custodians of the culture told them the most important thing and the only thing was the bag.
I was there.
So once a nigga secured a bag, what else do you got to tell me? Especially if they're looking at elders and saying you don't got the bag. You feel me? Then you failed at the mission. If that's the impetus, like I said the other day, we was talking on me and Rich, our last interview. I'm like, these dudes is pilled up. They on syrup. Like, look at Future. You know what I'm saying? He lean, he like this, but he got the bag. He got enough motherfucking whips to fill up his, you know what I'm saying, his driveway. He has everything that the elders told him was necessary for you to gauge your success. And now he's left with, well, what else do I reach for? They doped up and they already got all of the trappings, the material trappings that you told them is the signatures for success, but they empty. So what else do they aim for if all of the material shit has already been acquired? But inside they fucking dead. There's nothing there. And then the other people are following that. So these dudes are able to acquire the drip. They're able to acquire the bag and all of that in a semi-comatose state.
That's right.
And the motherfuckers who's woke is broke.
That's right.
So this is a bizarre world indeed. You know what I mean? We also want to mention the Triads of the world.
That's right.
We also want to mention the Meek Mills of the world.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it's like we continuously, this is a pattern that's spiraling and spinning out of control in terms of it's indicative of the micro macro. This is not just in hip hop. These are representatives of what the micro world looks like in hip hop, but it's macro on the streets. This is taking place in the conscious community. It's taking place, you know what I'm saying, on boulevard and blocks in every motherfucking hood. And then you get one or two of them to make it out of the streets into the industry, and they already, you know what I'm saying, this is what the shit looks like. So at the end of the day, like solution wise, how do you know what I mean? Like what comes in between? It's like, how do you remedy this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think for one, because of technology makes people think that they can do things fast. And the imitation of that fast game is what kills a lot of people. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, because they feel like, damn, if I just throw a t-shirt up online, then I'm instantly an entrepreneur. They didn't learn none of the business strategy. They didn't learn none of the branding. They didn't learn none of the marketing. They didn't learn none of the was B2B. They didn't learn any of the none of the concept, none of the experience behind it. You just want the instant. You just want to tap in. And then as soon as you tapped in, you tapped out. You understand me? You didn't reverse engineer your plan. You didn't forward engineer your plan. You don't even really know what you want from it. You just want to get in the game and get something from it. You just want to say, I am an entrepreneur. Look, I bought my t-shirts. I'm started now. You ain't got no damn strategy. And then you done wasted your money. Now you got to pour in more money that you've working from to pour into your business because it's not making any profit. You understand me? And this is the way that the game is structured right now. Everybody wants this fast life. So when the rappers build up super fast, oh, I got my billboard, I got my billboard, I got my billboard, I got my billboard. That's cool. You got your numbers, but you ain't even dropped the album yet. You ain't even solidified a career. You ain't solidified some respect in the game. You ain't solidified that what you need in order to have a strong foundation. You understand me? You got those overnight fans and they won't be with you once you're gone. They won't really be with you because you haven't really built that up. You ain't took that Master P route, that Jay-Z route, but you want what Jay-Z has. And it's dangerous that we get this imitation culture and this imitation society because, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur. Yo, can I sit in front of the camera and become an international speaker overnight? Yeah, if you're talking to people in Africa and shit like that, but do you really have any experience built upon any foundation or you got respect in the game? What if somebody put you in front of 10,000 people? Will you even be able to handle that crowd to where you even know how to converse with that many people? If you don't have experience, what you've built up is going to fail. Especially when you giving the energy and you giving the platform, you're an entrepreneur, you selling the shirt, somebody give you an opportunity to go vend, they be like, all right, cool, look, I need 1,000 shirts by tomorrow. How you gonna secure that order? You understand me? You're a rapper, you built up a presence as being a gangster in the game. You understand me? And then you dealing with other gangsters in the game who do shit that's based off the game. Shiesty shit like racketeering and murder and stealing and robbing. Nigga, this is gang culture. What the fuck you think gonna happen? But you can't handle that because you're not a gangster. You became overnight sensation. And then the gangsters back your play, but you don't have any experience back in that. So it's an imitation game. You understand me? But it's not sustainable with this imitation game. You got to have real time. And anybody that want this fast shit is gonna lose faster. You gotta for one have this long-term plan shit. You know what I mean? This 5-10 year planning and go through the journey, not the destination. You keep trying to reach the destination without going through the journey. As soon as you get to that destination, you found out like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing when I'm here. You understand me? I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. You understand me? So
the bullet train,
the entrepreneur, the lifestyle, life itself, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a business partner, whatever you is, it's supposed to be that journey because you can only live day by day. But that father time, that chronos devil, that construct that we live in there right now, you know what I mean? It's gonna catch up to you every time. It's gonna get you every time because you living in a false time. You're not living by nature's time. Nature's time go by mathematics. It goes by Fibonacci's law. You understand me? Ain't no flowers and the petals of the flowers. They grow by mathematical law. All of them. You go count the spirals going forward and backwards. You go count the universe. It follows mathematical law. And if your life is not based on mathematical law, which is truth, you understand me? Which is truth. If it's not based off truth, then it won't continue to grow because truth is going to grow. So what's the solution? Is these young boys becoming mathematical thinkers. But mathematical thinkers implies masculine thinking. Why? Because it implies logical thinking. It implies rational thinking. You understand me? It implies intuitive thinking as well, which is a culmination of deeper thinking when a person is that personality, which is the INTJ personality, where you have deeper thought. You're not the type of person that always needs to be validated by the presence of others, but you can be by yourself and still feel the love. So when you're in that deeper thought state, it allows you to tap into that more mathematical mind. Now you're getting deeper into your process of thinking. Now you're thinking about the journey and the steps that it's going to take in order to maintain your success. Or I just want to be seen by a bunch of people. I just want my extrovert personality to survive out there. So let me validate myself by this person, but you core alone have nothing at all.
nothing.
And then when you by yourself and you pushed up and they be like, all right, let's see what you do now that you've got this.
You stuck.
You ain't got shit because there's no truth and no confidence, the ability to hold on to truth. So your insecurities are showing and it's backed by nothing but lies. You understand me? And when your foundation is built off lies, you have nothing to sustain, nothing to hold you up. Only truth is going to win in the end.
So that's ultimately the lesson that we could learn, not just from this situation, because class is always in session. You understand? You don't got to go through something to learn from something. You could learn from the mistakes of others. So one of the things that we really need to pay attention to is the way that our culture is encouraging our youth. And when I say youth, it's not restricted to age, because niggas is in their 60s and they're still identified as the youth. Please be clear.
Yeah, youth is how you feel. It's your
There's great grandmothers out there that's running, that's moving like the youth. It's great grandfathers right now outside of these doors moving like the youth. So people like Nas called it the third childhood. It's people that are blissfully living out their fourth childhood.
Right there at that point. Who you think is younger right now at this point? Who you think is younger, 6ix9ine or Nas? Because if it's based on how you feeling right now, who you think feeling better? 6ix9ine or Nas?
Nas
6ix9ine or 50 Cent?
Nas.
Come on now.
Who's freer?
50. We talking about these are young men still. That age, when you're in stress, you're in anxiety, you're in pain, you're in fear, that's closer to death. You understand me?
That's age.
And that's age. That's old age. You don't feel your brain, you don't feel your mind aging. You feel your brain aging.
That's right.
Your body starts
to deplete.
You understand me?
Because age is the mind state. You understand? Like the brother was saying, if you look at the quote unquote rappers, if you pull up some of the rappers, they are well preserved, meaning that they look frozen in time. Because, because like he said, age is stress, age is worry, age is fear. Age is not the days on the calendar that go around. Don't ever think that. That's only called revolutions. It's not age.
1520. What was that? 1520. That's white patriarchal time that was implemented by a papal bull from the Catholics. So when you living off that, you living off the white man construct of living by these rules, by this measurement. Time is a measurement of motion. So now you running all of your moments and all of your life is based off the moves that you make. You can be making young moves or old moves. Moves that get you closer to death, or moves that get you closer to life.
Great,
There was a time when I had a case when I was 19 years old, and you know what I'm saying? My brother and my father in that case. I felt old as shit. You understand me? Why? Because I didn't have a foreseeable future. I didn't know what my future was going to be. I didn't know they'll give me 10 years. I didn't know they'll give me 12 years. So how can I feel young if I don't know where my next move is going to come from? If I can't see my future? It's you see yourself slowing down. And if you stand in a room by yourself and you stand still for your entire life, then you ain't made not one move. You might as well be dead. If the whole world stops moving, there's no time. It's only motion. So what you do with your time is going to tell you whether you young or you old, but time only exists in the present. So you can only be young or old in the present based off how you currently feel. What's your vibratory state? What's your frequency right now?
So somebody like a Nas or 50 Cent who went through the stressful, quote unquote, younger years in their lives, you know, at this particular point in time, they're able to live a more stress-free life because their entire life is laid out in front of them. Their options are now met with the opportunities that they have been afforded from living a life, you know what I'm saying, as stand-up individuals. You know what I mean? So Nas is looking progressively, quote unquote, younger because he's less stress-free. You know what I'm saying? He's able to plan and see ahead and say, wow,
facts.
I could do this for 2 or 3, 4 or 5 lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? Tekashi 6ix9ine, he just hit a brick wall. You dig what I'm saying? Now he has to think about the next 60 years of his life behind a wall.
That's right. That's right. And
who's younger?
Yeah, you got to ask yourself that too. Because if you get to a place, like I say, we both have 365 days in a year, right? I mean, you know, give or take. If you regarding by the sun and regarding by the moon, whatever. But you have to measure it by this. If one person is living a life where every single day they drinking, they smoking, they depressed, they stressed, they got anxiety, they hate their job, they hate everything that's going on with them, their health is in a discrepant state. And the next person, same age, you understand me? And one person is, they living their best life. Everything is happy. Their relationships is good. Their money is good. Friends of all walks of life. Their ownership is good. You know what I'm saying? They eating their veganism or they electrical diet. They on their Dr. Sebians. You know what I mean? Elijah Muhammad's right now, and they feeling real good. You understand me? And at the top of the year, who's going to be younger? You understand me? One person is getting closer to death. The other person is getting more youthful. You understand me? So yes, every day a person asks you how old you are. And so you grading yourself as if you're getting older. You understand me? Nobody asks you how young you are. How do you feel? How young do you feel? You understand me? Because if I've never been 26, if I've never been 27, I've never been 28, how am I old if I just reached a new age? It ain't old. I just got to a new age. My brain is about to change. The chemistry of my brain is start thinking a different way. The pattern of my neural connections start to change. That's not old. It's progressing. It's getting into a whole new state. You understand me? It just becomes a point in time where we start thinking people old. Like, you're not telling a 2-year-old child they're old now that they're 2, or a 3-year-old now you old. No, it's society that puts a connotation on an age, and when you reach that age, then you also feel that frequency, that vibration, and that connotation, which is often attached to a negative one. So now you start to look at your age as negative, and then you start to age yourself by that system of thinking, by someone else's intellect. So that's why I say you got to destroy the white patriarchal intellect, because that's where that draws from. Our ancestors ain't never said, you old now, you 21. No, for one, it was like you a man at 16. For one, you understand me? We didn't even go by these systems of your drinking age makes you a man. Your working age makes you're like, you get you a permit now that you, nah, it's by those things that qualify you inside yourself. Those principles that you develop within self that set you upon that journey to balance out and start to make the kinetic energy from your potential energy as a masculine or feminine being on your journey towards godhood. You understand me? But if you ain't on your journey towards godhood, then you're not a man, you're not a woman. You understand me? You just a boy and a girl still figuring it out, trying to develop, trying to mature. You understand me? You getting titties and things of that nature and going through hormonal, stages in life doesn't make you a woman. You understand me? A man now getting to the age where he looking at women a certain way and he ready to knock them down don't make you a man. There's development. You got to be a protector, a provider. You understand me? But what does it mean that you're a protector? That means that you starting to develop into that masculine entity. You know what I mean? That means that you have to develop into the construct of what it means to be testosterone filled. You know what I mean? So now I got to learn how to fight to protect myself. Now, if I'm protecting myself, the masculine entity, I'm also protecting the emotional entity as well. And then that converts over to me having the ability to protect women, that other feminine, existential entity that exists. You know what I mean? So now I'm not only a protector because of myself, now I can protect her. You know what I mean? Now you develop, now you're a provider, now you can produce. So you can take that which is in your thought, you become a working man, you exert your energy, now you start to manage yourself, you manage yourself. So you administer your activities, you know what I mean, that organization that you are, so you can get to set obligations and goals. Are you really a man now? You a man now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You bring it home the vegan bacon, you know what I'm saying? You good, you know what I'm saying? You bring it on the sea moss, you feel me?
With the vegan bacon.
Good. You got it. You just bought the new crown from Keys. How you afford that? I'm a man, baby. I got you one too. Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of everybody. I tapped into my full state. I even have the ability to express myself emotionally because I have studied that which is in self, and I know how to express myself. So I don't even condense that because that's part of protecting me and protecting you. See, we learn as men sometimes how to tap into the full masculine, but we don't learn that balance. That 1, that 9 being that subconscious mind, 1 being that, masculine mind. That's that balance. You have to be balanced as a man. I look at it like this is my 9 mind, and my 1 mind, this is my 9, but these young boys only have that 9. You understand me? They're only programmed to see things through the feminine aspect right now. So they genetic and they physiological and they biological makeup is all fucked up. So when they making these emotional decisions, even their music, the frequency of their music is transforming, and the signals that they putting out is to tap into relief the emotions that they have as young boys, but having girl minds because they're being branded from a young stage and young age. Because remember, when a mother eats, the amniotic fluid is going through the mouth and the nose. And then her emotional state is being imprinted on that boy or girl. Now, if the mother is eating foods that induce chemicals that is stopping testosterone growth or stopping estrogen growth or eating soy or eating all these chemicals, then that's changing the physiological state of that baby. So when it's born, what that baby is going to want, he's going to want more of those things that the mother had to calm him down. So when the baby is crying, that's what the mother's going to give them because that just calmed them down. Or listening to certain music, now the baby is calm. So the mother, of course, want to make her life better. So she's going to do that. So it's branding you. Now the average baby, you know, is able to have brand recognition. So they have neuroscientists that make sure that when you grow up, they're branding you towards that. And then these hormones are what? Inducing them to grow up at younger ages. So now they're starting to hit their hormonal changes at 12 and 11. So guess what? Now the product carrier, or what they doing, now they changing it. Now they got these products geared towards marketing towards younger and younger girls. Now we want to put cartoons and hearts on the petties. You understand me? What's the shit called? The tampons and stuff like that. I'm thinking pedicure. You know, I don't be doing all that shit. I'm a man, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't be doing all that. But and then the young boys, they get the deodorant and the Axe commercials and all of these different things is branding them. So by the time they get older, and because they was in theta wave stage when they was being branded, they was in that hypnotic state. That's the only program that they have to act off of. So that's going to make their decision when they get older, and it's not even going to allow them to reconstruct themselves into being men or girls. I mean, or women. You understand me? Their brain messed up, their body messed up, they mind, all of it is all in this state, and they trying to keep that in balance where there's no harmony, where things are not flowing. Because remember, to be mathematical brain, which is a math and things grow in nature mathematically. So if your baby is growing in its natural state and the environment is stronger than nature, then they will grow into a man or a woman naturally. It's like Fibonacci sequence. 1 + 1 going to add up to 2. You understand me? And then 2 + 2, then it just keeps going and keep growing and keep growing. But if there's no synchronicity, the mathematics is cut off. You understand? Now this is 1, now we just threw in a 5 and then threw in a 6, and it's all messed up and jumbled. So by the time you get to that stage where your body has developed, but your mind hasn't, you understand? And now you get into that state of 25 where your mind is focusing on wisdom, but now the wisdom that it's focusing on is interested more in your feminine side, or for a woman it's interested more in your masculine side. So you becoming more wise as a man of how to be a woman, and as a woman you becoming more wise as how to be a man. Your whole mind is all fucked up, and they hope that you never have the energy that restores the proper caliber and pattern of thinking, because then that's when you become enlightened, and then it becomes impossible for them to control you. You understand me? So changing your pattern of thinking, and mathematics is a recognition of patterns. You understand me? It's all about being a mathematical thinker because it puts you back in balance. It constructs you back. There's a construct of a man and woman. We say destroy constructs. What the fuck is you gonna put in place? If you wanna, yeah, you can charge it up. If you destroy the construct of a building, they say, you know what? I don't want to build buildings by blueprints no more. Let's just start this and see what happens. What's gonna happen? You understand me? That shit gonna crumble. Yeah. Something might work for a day or two, or maybe a year. A storm hit it. Guess what? It's gonna come down. Yeah. So it has to have a mathematical formula interest in everything that we do, because nature is mathematics, space and time is mathematics. Right. The universe is mathematics. Flowers are mathematics. Your eyes, mathematics. There's a 19 field that resonates over the universe. There's a signatic period of when the sun and the moon link up. You know what I mean? The sun, moon, and the earth every 19 years. It's mathematical formulas. We are all in this mathematical state. So the deeper you get into that mathematical formula of self, then the deeper you get entrenched with your nature and the development of self. And Islam is mathematics. So tap in. Boom.
So where we at?
To drop a new
Is that a charger below? Where we at? Yeah, so you know, the brother said it best. We're gonna definitely leave y'all with these gems. There are a few things that we wanted to talk about.
Oh, we shifted.
Oh yeah, we shifted. I got Blue in the building, Mr. Law 44. I got Keys in the building. Yeah, the Keys. 2019. 2019 also marks the 10-year anniversary, okay, of Know the Ledge. This is going to be a monumental year. We are not playing in the calendar year of 2019. Y'all could play with it if you want. You could be on Tekashi time, but 2020 is around the corner, and we in 10 years of work is too much work to just play with this shit. You feel me? So we want to thank everybody who are supporting us, everybody that's there for us, everybody that's receptive, because receptivity in the realm, if anybody's out here on a search for what they know, what they call self or the path of enlightenment, one of the tenets of the path of enlightenment, one of the tenets of man know thyself is receptivity. If you cannot receive, you cannot grow. If you cannot receive, what are you here for? Some of these young men and women that are out there, they're very hard to receive this light. And like I said, young don't got nothing to do with calendar years. It's some young old niggas running around right now, and they don't want to receive information. They want to judge you based off of the sneakers that you're wearing, that if they'll receive the light. They want to judge you based off of your drip. If you're not drippy enough, they don't want to drink from your fountain. You understand? If you don't look a certain complexion, they don't want to receive the information. But the way that the universe will line you niggas up, they will send you some motherfucking pearls, right? Getting spit out of a pig's mouth. You got to know when you have to be ready to receive the light. You got to be ready to receive the gems. You got to be ready to receive this cloth. So leave yourself open to receive the right information, because a lot of y'all are receiving, you know what I'm saying, cubic zirconias. You're not getting gems.
So with that being said, you know, like the brother said, everything in life is a teaching moment. Everything in life is an opportunity to impart a lesson. So if nothing else, if we look at this individual and a lifestyle that he represented in the continuum of other quote unquote rappers that's in this game that represent that same fabricated lifestyle, you seeing them crack at the seams. You dig what I'm saying? You're seeing the plastic break. So obviously the children are going to have a very small window where their attention is going to be looking for something else. You dig what I'm saying? And that's where these opportunities afford themselves, these teacher moments, you know what I mean, where we have to get this information in front of them. You know, we have to make a play for the hearts and the minds of the babies and pitch them these pearls in real time. And if nothing else, like the brother said, I mean, he gave you the full layout about this particular aspect of this universal being mathematical. And we're even speaking to you about an individual who identifies himself with a numerical frequency of 69. That's Cancer. That's a mother energy. That's a maternal energy. You know, his whole interview based on Breakfast Club, he unraveled because of the threat that was made about his mother. He said he lost his father, which was his superhero, and he was reared by his mother, that 69 energy, that Cancerian energy, right? They said, what? I'm going to give you the address to her home. Cancer is home. You dig what I'm saying? So that made the unraveling take place. You know what I'm saying? He turned on his homies, and that made a braid.
Triggered by fear.
He already,
you know what I mean? Triggered by fear. Only the feds I fear. That's what he said. And quote unquote God. You know, so, you know, just establishing this whole aspect of numerical frequencies and mathematics being the language of the universe. You know, that's what the law 44 represents. Through in and throughout. I'm showing you day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? You need to get past the realm of coincidence. There's no goddamn coincidence.
No
just accept it for what it is.
It's impossible.
It's a conversation that the universe is having. It's mathematical in nature. You dig what I'm saying? And what else would it be? So these tones and these frequencies and everything else just coming, these colors, everything that you see has a mathematical equivalent. These names that you hear, everything has a mathematical equivalency. These views that niggas is into, that's all about mathematics. You know what I'm saying? Everything is numbers and numerics. So allow yourself to get attuned to the right information in these particular times as we head into this most, you know, this particular year that I don't even want to. It's not even to make it or break it. You know what I'm saying? There's no options at this particular time. We have to move forward. 2020.
Interact with opportunity, don't react. I just want to say one last thing about the observer. And when it comes to synchronicity, because the observer creates that which it synchronizes with. In order for you to be able to observe the mathematical universe, you have to have a high level of energy in the mind, meaning that your mind can be distracted, you know, with things that are unnecessary. Imagine if you walk in a room and you spending all your energy on judging the people in the room, how this person dresses, what's their religion, who they are, instead of synchronizing with the opportunities that may exist in this room, and your mind start to seek the opportunities. You start to instead become a mathematical thinker. As you look around and you search for opportunities and you search for the mathematical universe so you can observe the numbers, so you can find meaning in it, so you can synchronize. You understand me? Because when you break it down from time and the creation of time, they talk about chronos, the father of time, but there's also another word that comes with kairos, meaning the opportune time. You understand me? So it's about you being able to have a high level of energy in your mind, always seeking the opportune time and finding the meaning in the mathematical universe. Yes, you observe these twos, you observe these ones, you observe these threes, these 19s, but are you understanding the meaning in it? But it's going to take a high level of energy in the mind, enlightenment in the mind, because if you focus on the distractions, the oppressions, the systematic evils, you don't have enough time for the dreams, the opportunities, the success that you're going to be able to build with.
Right.
Because you don't focus all your attention over there, and the attention economy is always fighting for your attention.
That's right.
So while this 6-9 thing is going on, what opportunities are you missing? Or are you not even taking the gems that's in it? Because he did release gems in his journey. When you really observe, it's just what was he missing and how can you learn from it? Because he didn't have an entrepreneur mind. He said he didn't study contracts. He didn't even look at them.
He left it up to them.
He let people throw numbers at him. It sounded good. The trinkets, 80 up front, cool, I'll take that. I'm getting 60. Didn't know that he was getting blown out of 3.5 million because he wasn't an entrepreneur. He wanted to fast. But if he had time to slow down, fuck all of this jury shit, let me just relax my mind for a second. You know what I mean? Let me really take a deep look at what's going on. You know what I mean? The only time that it made him react as a mathematical thinker, when it triggered his fear, when he was talking about his mother, he wanted to protect his mother. Now he became more conscious. You understand me? Now his logical, mathematical, masculine mind tapped in. Now he produced thoughts that allow him to synchronize with the observable universe. He said, wait a minute, this is that, but it was too late. The 7 feds was out there. They was coming for the 6-9. You feel me? But when you really tap in and you look for opportunities in everything, you look for the positivity in everything, you focus on the things that you actually want to build. You synchronize with the meaning of the mathematical universe. So if I'm on my way to New York and I start seeing foes, it must be telling me I'm tapped into the right direction. Let me keep going that way. But you have to take time to even observe that. So put your phones down sometime, put the bullshit away, allow your mind to tap into its deeper state of thinking. You know what I mean? Get into your studies. Don't say I want to be an entrepreneur. Study the tactical, mathematical application of gaining knowledge. Don't ask one person, can I get a quick 30 seconds or what it means to be an entrepreneur for you because I enjoy your journey. No, go actually study source material and ask them questions based on that material. You understand me? So you have to stop taking the program and you have to rewrite a new one for your life when you want to become something different. You understand me? The 6-9 program, you study, you learn from it. You don't just get entertainment and escapism because it takes you away from your duties for a second, or where you can talk about somebody else's life. Learn from whatever you are observing and find the meaning, because literally, if I'm a low-level observer, I'm only going to create low-level observations. We know that in quantum physics. If I'm a high-level observer, high energy, I'm going to observe high-level observations. You a scientific thinker, you come on now, Fibonacci had to have a high level of observation to even start noticing the sequencing of those mathematical patterns and start looking for them. But if he was distracted with his baby mama and BT and films on Shade Room, he would have never found those. You feel me? So when our parents had the internet age and the internet popped up, they didn't start buying .coms. They didn't have the energy in their mind. They didn't have the enlightenment to seek opportunity. So later on, they reacting to success. And then when the social media age, they didn't even know what the fuck we was doing. But our generation interacted with the opportunity. But now we have to be guided to do the right thing as being mathematical thinkers. So interact with opportunity, don't react to success.
Moving into 2019, the year of the entrepreneur, we are here at a workspace. You know what I'm saying? We just came off a successful weekend, not only shifting in Atlanta, but attending the We Buy Black convention, seeing 100 melanated businesses, but we know we have the potentiality to see 4,400 more. You know what I'm saying? So we are definitely inspired to share this information and these gems and these opportunities with the entrepreneur mind, who is not so readily distracted, but only looks at these situations as teacher moments, because you see individuals, we see numbers. You know what I'm saying? And once we're able to unpack those numbers, then we're able to give you the information and the lessons as it is presented, because it's only, it's only coached in flesh, but it's numerical. All right. There's some very key learning lessons here, and we could take this information and go back into these streets. And like I said, play for the hearts and the minds of these babies, take them out of the goofiness, bring them back. Now that we have their attention and their focus, if only for a split second, and show them how they can play for longevity and stop being a fucking rabbit in the race. And, you on Turtle Island, goddamn it, you need to be, you need to learn the science of this goddamn turtle. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's, 13 and 4. Forget it. So before we sign out, just some announcements to make. Number one, if you haven't seen the video or the movie, Twin the Movie, please go to either this page that you're on right now, Phil T. Moreland, and go check it out. It's a 9-minute mini movie, episode 1, The Womb, the Twin Pillars, Red and Blue Pill, from my album, the soundtrack, Twin the Album. All right. And you can get that on twinthealbum.com. Or you could go to Black Magic 363, Kia Life Productions, Baba TV, and go and watch the movie as well. It's all over the internet, like your boy said. All right. Another announcement that we want to make is a launching of KTLmedia.com. KTLmedia.com will be our go-to place where you can experience and explore all of the content of the pillars. That will be our streaming service. It's a YouTube clone, okay? But you can be a member of it. You can sign up. You can have your own pages. We won't have to deal with the censorship of YouTube anymore. We won't have to deal with the demonetization of YouTube anymore. We won't have to deal with all of these people telling, blocking our videos. No, we came with a solution. We didn't complain about it. We didn't even speak about it. We went and built our own streaming service, KTLmedia.com. Go and sign up. All right. December 1st in Newark, New Jersey, Professor Griff, Red Pill, Blue Pill, The Fear of a Black Planet Part 2. December 13th to the 22nd, St. Croix, Virgin Islands, KT the Arch Degree, the Healing Retreat, Red Pill and Blue Pill. We're going to be in the building. All right. February the 20th to the 23rd, the Real Rick Ross, Freeway, Professor James Smalls, and Red and the Blue. I don't know what, that's an interesting combo. But February the 20th to the 23rd in Las Vegas, Magic City, along that whole time, we're going to be out there breaking it down. Tap in, all right? That's just a few of the things that are going on, but I don't want to inundate you with all kind of stuff, but put that in front of you right now. Like I said, y'all got a plate full of information tonight. We could go on for a while, but we won't. We already gave you an hour and some change. We want to thank everybody that has pulled up the Cash App. And the Patreon. I have a mission. There's a mission that we're on, hashtag 999 Patreon. All right. I'm on a mission to get 999 Patreons. Don't tell me that I can't do it, because we just went through this long conversation explaining to you the sky's the limit, and you could do anything that you put your mind to it with the right kind of counseling. So I'm sitting amongst some counsel. I'm with the right people who are going to show me the ropes. So Patreon /Red Pillar, Cash App, $ Phil Moreland, everybody that sent us some investments for the birthday. I appreciate y'all for the tips that you've been getting all night. We appreciate y'all for that. Shout out to my moderators for keeping the flow going, and for everybody that's been showing love in the comment section. We love y'all. I'm gonna go over it after the show and respond to anybody who put out any information and whatnot that we need to respond to. So love and light to the family. We'll catch you on Third Eye Thursdays. Keys. All right.
Hey.
Tap in.
Follow my YouTube as well.
Yeah. Give him your handle.
Yo, 19 Keys 19 KEYS. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, 19_Keys. You understand? I just want to thank you for interacting with the opportunity, because I see you moved your travel over. You seen on the 44th episode, we all happen to be together. You found the synchronicity in the numbers, and we made a classic episode, man.
That's right. I had
live in action.
I had to cancel my departure from the city because I had to tap in with the pillar.
I had to tap in with keys, you know what I'm saying? Because I want y'all to get these bars. I could have been.
Look at the synchronicity on the 44th episode that we happen to be here.
That's right.
Come on, man.
That's right.
That's
Linked
interacting
up.
with opportunity.
So it's all
Absolutely.
about linking up with opportunity. Go
Hold
to
on. What's today's date?
the 19th.
Come on.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
1944?
So
When did that book come out? Game Theory? 1944?
Come on now.
So
Come on now.
go to the gram at the shifters, no ebonics, the shifters _ at the shifters _ sign up to the gram page so you could be always informed when something is going on, because there's going to be a lot of pop-ups. There's also going to be lectures and events and seminars. I mean, God damn it, there's going to be conventions in the future, but there's a lot of things, a whole lot of shifting going on.
Yeah. Shout out to all the other shifters.
Shout out to all of my shifters out there.
Next, Rizza Islam, Derek Ray's doing big things today in Tampa. I seen Eisner, Pop Darby,
Billionaire PA in
South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Murph. We want to shout out
Bashir, Young God, Karma,
Young
building.
God.
Yes,
Karma in the building with that twin movie camp. No, she ain't had a camera. She owned that.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the womb circle in
My
the
brother
building.
Destiny Grind.
Come on, Destiny. Come on.
My brother Rob Cool came out yesterday.
Rob Cool, the Cosmo Physics came out. Ghetto Shaman came out. El Rock came out. All of the fam. If anybody know, this is from KTL. This is Destiny Grinds. All of my KTL family, Know the Ledge family out there. This is the guy. This is Destiny Grind. One half of Destiny Grinds in the building. He's doing big things in the ATL. He has a workspace in the A. You want to walk around real quick? I don't know if y'all want to give him a tour.
Nah,
we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna show y'all later on when we get these things going. To be continued.
Link in the bio for the crown.
Cash out.
Yeah, hit them up for the
$,
crown.
Blue Pillar 44. I'm taking $44 donations.
Black Friday going up to Cyber Monday. We got a sale on kingscounty.bigcartel.com. New collection. All of those things will be popping. Like I said, love and light to the family. Thank y'all for your support. To be continued. Peace.
Yo, man, make sure